California's rugged and scenic northwestern corner is the beginning of the great Pacific Northwest. A region of untamed and primitive beauty.
And the Humboldt County Sheriff's Department has now joined efforts with the Arcata Police.
Illegal pot growers living off the grid. Humboldt County also has the highest rate of missing person cases in the state.
Where 60% of marijuana is grown in the United States.
There's a lot of evil here. A lot of evil.
This is Kinda Murdery, and you're entering the Emerald Triangle. Wow, that was nuts. Hey everybody, welcome to Kinda Murdery. I'm your host Zevon Odelberg, and I'm here again because I just can't stay away from him with my good buddy Niall Madden. How you doing today, Niall?
I'm good.
Again, thank you for listening to us here on Kinda Murdery, and there's really two parts to the show. We tell historical stories that are kinda murdery, whether that's murder, robbery, what have you. And then we also just tell some personal stories.
Yeah, personal stories that make you want to murder us.
Here we go. We are in Sausalito, a very wealthy community known for its houseboat neighborhoods on Richardson's Bay across the Golden Gate Strait from San Francisco. So it's 1963 when the child of one Mrs. Holdred Gallagher, and just pause for a second, is there a better Halloween name than Mrs. Holdred Gallagher?
Yeah.
So Holdred's kid finds a human skull amid the bushes in their backyard. They're like, oh, sweet, that looks like a great Halloween decoration.
Jesus Christ. I mean, just totally unsurprised to find a human skull in their backyard.
Right, just immediately go to like, let's stick this on the porch to creep out the neighbors and take no further action, right? Well, so that's why I said, always know the provenance of any severed head you use for a Halloween decoration, because they had been displaying this skull year in and year out on All Hallows Eve for 8 years. 8 years, when one day a neighbor walks up to Mrs. Holdred Gallagher and says, hey, Holdy, have you ever told the police about this human skull that you have? Yeah. To which she goes, no, maybe I should do that.
Maybe you should mind your fucking business.
So she goes to the police and they say, oh, yeah, so your Halloween decoration is actually the skull of a murdered man who was killed 40 years ago and died from a massive skull-crushing blow to the right side of his head. Happy Halloween. Speaking of Happy Halloween, I'm going to go ahead and tell you a Halloween story from my own childhood. I am 8 years old. It is Halloween. My best friend I've known since he was 2.5, and we are going to go trick-or-treating together. And I was a total sheltered hippie kid. I lived in the middle of the woods, an hour from town, a mile from the nearest neighbor. I wasn't allowed to watch TV or movies, so I had no idea what kids in the late 80s were supposed to be into. So I had this great idea because I like to read fantasy novels. I said to my mom, I want to be a rainbow unicorn elf. So my mom's a hippie and she's like, well, that sounds awesome.
Very progressive.
She made me a papier-mâché mask that was a half-face mask with sort of cat eyes painted in gradations of rainbow color with a golden unicorn horn on it.
This is child abuse.
And then I had long johns that they tie-dyed rainbow colors, and I put on my rainbow-colored long johns and my unicorn elf mask, and I was like, I look fucking awesome. I look so awesome. And then my buddy shows up. He also went with a chimera, but instead of unicorn elf, this son of a bitch went with Ghostbusters Tiger.
Fuck yeah.
You say that now, but here I am in my rainbow unicorn elf outfit thinking I'm awesome, and in walks my buddy with a tiger mask. His long johns are tiger striped, and he has a fully like constructed cardboard Ghostbusters ghost shooting ray gun machine, whatever you call the like plasma rifle that the Ghostbusters carried. So of course he looks fucking rad.
Yeah.
And I immediately feel like such a douche in my rainbow elf costume that I like basically burst into tears. And so my dad, I don't know if he was ashamed or just felt bad for me.
Let me tell you something. You probably needed a police escort around the schoolhouse, the 12-person schoolhouse.
Yeah, no kidding. So he hustles me down to the garden, and he's like, don't cry that you don't have a Ghostbusters plasma pack, son. Here is a, and he whips it out. The glow stick it is, and he cracks it, and he's like, here's a glow stick. And I was like, wow, that's better than the Ghostbusters proton pack. And of course, because we were little kids, my friend becomes jealous of the glow stick, and he starts to cry.
Wow. Jesus.
So it was kind of a disaster.
It was the battle of the pussies.
Yeah, pretty much. So fast forward a couple years, and has Zevon learned his lesson about what to dress like for Halloween? No, of course not. A couple years later, it's probably the start of the Gulf War, so all us little boys are like super obsessed with guns and battle. But I decide I want to be a Renaissance court jester. So my mom, never to be one to like not put the work in, makes me this incredible, again, rainbow colored with like segments, satin jester's outfit with the collar, with the little triangles with bells on the end. I had the pointed elf shoes with bells on the ends, and I think I look awesome again. And I go to the school Halloween party, and every other boy in the school is dressed either as a ninja or a special forces soldier, and they've all got Nerf guns, and they say, hey, let's go play like run around in the dark and try to hide and shoot each other with Nerf guns. Well, how do you think that works out for the guy in the jester costume with bells on the ends of his pointed shoes?
Yeah.
Oh man, you've heard of the sad clown. I was the sad jester that night.
Man, speaking of Halloween, I'm just thinking back to some of my costumes. I remember going to a party in the hills, and I was John Mark Carr, and I made Fitz go as John Benet Ramsey.
Okay, that's pretty murdery.
Yeah, well, nobody really got the costume, and I was wearing these khakis up to like my tits, and I had this blue golf shirt billowing out, because that's what he was wearing as they walked him through a press conference doing a perp walk, and he's like, I killed her. Is a very strange story.
And by the way, just so you could picture this, Fitz, who's dressed as Jean Benet Ramsey, is
with
like
a cigarette hanging out of his mouth,
is like a stocky black Irish linebacker, right? I mean,
yeah, yeah. And then the next year, I went back to the same party. I was like, I got to redeem myself, and I found this inflatable penis costume. So your feet are the testicles, and there's a fan system on the inside. And the fan system keeps it billowing out, so it's like
a fan system to keep your nuts dry. Is that what?
No, it's to keep the penis fully filled out, so to speak. So the head was like this giant head of a penis, and the problem with it is that I remember it said no returns because everybody who bought this thing fucking returned it because it was very impractical. I fucking fell down a spiral staircase, just rolling down like a penis. It caught on fire like multiple times.
Wait, you're telling me you're not allowed to return the inflatable penis costume with the testicle cooling internal fan?
Yeah.
Why in the world wouldn't you be able to return that?
But yeah, no. So I'm walking around in this thing, knocking things over, because you have to account for like an extra 6 feet. Your body is 6 feet wider, so you're just knocking people's drinks over. Everybody hated me.
But you had the best self-esteem of your life. You're the new spokesman for Roman.
Yeah. I even went on Halloween Adventures website and left a review saying it was a tremendous success.
And I think with that, I think we've given people enough of a tasty taste of what Kinda Murdery is all about. So once again, thank you to Jerry and Tracy Paulley for having us here on Hillbilly Horror Stories, and please go out to your favorite podcasting platform and subscribe to Kinda Murdery. For Niall Madden, I'm Zevon Odelberg, and this has been Kinda Murdery. Happy Halloween.